Yo, shit. 38 verse Kiss, man. I don't know, that verse, them verses was crazy on there, cause Benny said some shit on Sunday school, and it's crazy how we bringing this shit back, man. Benny said some shit on that track, man, too. Like, they just excluded Benny. Nah, Benny had some shit too, but all them spit on that shit. It ain't like none of them had no whack verse. But to say 38, and I fucks 38 heavy, to say he killed that verse, I mean that track, you know what I'm saying? I can't say that, man. Like killing it is like, yo, your shit was just like you just, your shit was, your balls is out of this world, and I don't mean, he definitely said some shit, but I don't know if it was out of this world like that, like. You know what I'm saying? Kiss said some shit too, man. It's an occupation. Nigga get jammed, hit his lawyer and his fam, then we move the operation out. Like that, you know what I mean? Like he had some balls too out there, man. You know, I know you're tight, you're not thorough. Can't come around unless you got a referral. Made a couple of bucks. Like he said some shit too, man, on 38, man. Like everybody said some shit, man. My son Benny said, nigga said, I was in the feds with braids under the do-rag. I'm a volunteer to do you if it come to that. Like nigga said some shit, man. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so to me it was everybody killed on that. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't really get too crazy with the bars like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so now we need a part 2. We need Sunday school too, man. Second day, man. Second day semester or some shit. We need that, man. Like, man, we need to hear them bars, man. Like now niggas are gonna go in on each other, man. I wanna see this shit, man. Like, man, friendly competition, man. I don't think it's no beef. I think it's just friendly competition, man. And now we gonna hear some shit, man. Or up. But anyway, man. Next thing we're gonna talk about is these Knicks and Spurs, man. This is a fairly even matchup to me. The only difference is Wemby, but Wemby's a force. But you know the Knicks do have 2 bona fide superstars in Brunson, Towns. If Towns, this series to me, the X factor is Karl-Anthony Towns, because if he shows up, there's really no real answer for him, just like there's no answer for Wemby. You know, you know, and you know, when you got, even though Mitchell Robinson has the broken hand, he's not really known for scoring, but it still can affect his game as far as defensively and blocking shots, or you know, or when they start to hack on Shaq, this dude, you know, then you know it's gonna may affect him a little bit. So crack that nigga in his head. I'm watching Child's play, but yeah, man. Like I think the Knicks got a chance to win the series. This is the best chance they had to win a championship, I think. Probably since the '70s, man. I think, or really since, you know, because every time they get in the championship since the '70s, the other team has the best player. Like in the '94 championships, the Knicks had to go up against Olajuwon, and Olajuwon was it was better than Ewing, man. It was a good matchup, but he was better than Ewing. Then they had to go up against Duncan and Robinson. Really, Tim Duncan. It was Tim Duncan's team at that time. And then you had to go up against, now you're going up against Wemby. You know, Wemby's clearly the best player on both teams. But the Knicks do have Jalen Brunson. They have a bona fide, like, scorer. You know, and then they got a lot of help. You know, he's got some role players too. Like, you know, they got Josh Hart, Anunoby, Shamet, Landry Shamet, whatever, I don't know how to say his name. So they got some good players out there that can ball. With him, Karl-Anthony Towns. It's gonna be a good matchup. They match up a little bit better. I mean, they would have matched up with OKC too, and I think whoever would have came out, the Knicks would have still had a chance, man. And you know, although I'm a Laker fan, you know, I stopped fucking with the Knicks when Ewing missed that finger roll. When he finger rolled that shit off the back iron, that shit fucked me up, man. I was like, I can't fuck with the Knicks no more. And I just stuck with the Lakers, man. Lakers is always my dark horse team, man. Like, I always loved Magic. Was my favorite player. But growing up in the city, you know, and you know, my uncles and everybody in the family was Knicks fans. You know, you was kind of like by default rooting for the Knicks. But when he missed that layup, that was it for me. I'm like, I can't fuck with this nigga, man. Like, these niggas, man, they just lose. They keep disappointing. I'm gonna stick with LA, man. And I stuck with LA. You know, even though I haven't rooted for LA in years, because, you know, they had LeBron there. You know, I couldn't do it, man. I'm sorry, man. I just couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So, the Knicks, like I said, this is their best chance. It's their best chance. You know, we'll see what happens, man. If they can steal one of these 2 games, if they can steal one of these first 2 games, we definitely, the Knicks is definitely on their way. They need to steal one of these 2 games in San Antonio. Can't leave, remember, in the Alamo Dome. And when I say remember the Alamo Dome, I mean you got the brakes beat off you out there, man. So you can't leave like that, man. You gotta leave 1-1, at least to say, yo, we got a chance in this series. You know, you go down 0-2, yeah, they still have a chance, but it's like there's a lot of pressure trying to win 2 straight games in the Garden, knowing that they're must-win games. You don't want to go down 3-1 or 3-0. You know what I'm saying? So it's pressure. But I think the Knicks, if any game they can win, it's game 1, of course, or game 2. Like, you got to bring your A games to this shit, man. There's no off days, man. Your off days is 7 games away, if that. You know, so see what happens, man. But yeah, you know, and also, I want to get into something that Rich Paul, he just keeps going with these hot takes, because it's giving them ratings on his show. But it's like, these shows, when you put these mainstream people, right, everything with them is about a narrative, and it's to, you know, and it just feels like it's like a form of mind control, man. Like, everything is a fucking narrative, man. Like, I had to turn First Takeoff this morning. I try to tune into it and watch it. And then here come Kendrick Perkins. Oh, well, this is the all-time leading. Like, it's always some fucking narrative. Fam, just give the take, man. I think they was asking, like, you know, do the Knicks have a legit chance? Oh, they're the all-time high leading scorer. Of course, it's fam. Just give the fucking take without all the theatrics, man. And the hot takes and the narrative pushing and all this shit, you know. And like Rich Paul, you know, he's been pushing these narratives. Like, they keep trying to push this narrative that, like, Jordan wasn't nothing without Pippen. You know, we all see his numbers, and we all see, or we all watch the games. That people my age, we watch the games. I'm not even a Bulls fan, but I watched the games, and we knew Pippen wasn't a factor till his second, third year. So these guys make it seem like, well, we wasn't doing anything until you got Pippen, and they still was losing. He had to toughen Pippen up for Pippen to, you know, play the way, you know, he needed him to play in order for them to win. Same thing Kobe had to do with Pau Gasol. Remember, they got cooked that year. Kobe Bryant's career is almost similar to Jordan's. You know what I'm saying? Like, where, you know, he had to toughen up Pau Gasol, and they needed Bynum. They didn't have Bynum in that playoff run, even though they got to the finals. There's no excuse. You didn't have a big man right, that had any toughness, you know what I'm saying, that they had to guard, you know, to offset what they was doing to Pau Gasol. So, you know, Pau Gasol wasn't tough enough really to deal with the pressure that Boston was putting on him. And that's no excuse to say why they lost, but you know, it was definitely a big reason. You know, he wasn't able to, you know, really freely, you know, get loose the way he was in the second series when people feel like he could have won MVP. You know, all because Kobe had a bad game 7 and still ended up with 22, 7. I think he had 17 rebounds and you know, and hit the game, you know what I'm saying, a couple of key shots down the stretch and key free throws. You know, like for him to say like unplug, that don't make any sense, man. And that's why everybody kept saying if you unplug all of LeBron's help, Wade, Bosh, Ray Allen, AD, Kyrie. Let's unplug them and see how much championships LeBron has. He goes 0 for 10. You know, like, stop it. You unplug Magic. Kareem don't got 6 rings. Like, come on, we can keep doing this, man. All this, you know, like they just want to, like I said, it's a way to spin the narrative and keep these conversations going. That, you know, because, you know, they have no substance, you know, like their topics of discussion, there's no topic of discussion, so let's just say hot takes, so they stay, you know, and then it's like the Kobe disrespect, and you try to disrespect Kobe, you know, people want to say, oh, he was carried by Shaq. We watched the games. I was explaining this shit several thousand times. You know, we know what Kobe was. We know what his skill set was. We know what he meant to the league. You know, you know, in order for them to get him out the way, you know, in order for them to, you know, bring up just Jordan and LeBron and keep that narrative going, you gotta eliminate Kobe, so they gotta disrespect him. And it's sad, man. You know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of these people, they, you know what I'm saying, they just, they love to try to disrespect Kobe. You know, so, but yeah, you know, like, you can't unplug, like, and what kills me with these narratives, right, is it forces you to disrespect, you know, these types of players like Gasol or like Pippen. Nobody wants to disrespect Scottie Pippen, but when you saying these things, you making people dig in the files. You make people have to disrespect Scottie Pippen, and now we're dumbing down his accomplishments to prove a point. You know, so it's another way to tear down athletes, and I don't think we get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're tearing down Pau Gasol, you're tearing down Scottie Pippen, tearing down the rest of his players that was on that team. The same thing with LeBron. They will tear down, or they'll minimize everybody else's efforts to make him look like he's this big pedestal. Meanwhile, those guys impacted him winning more than what Scottie did for Mike. The main time Scottie really impacted them winning was the first championship, when they had to switch Mike off of Magic and put Scottie on there. He was a little bit bigger. Aside that, what else? And I'm not saying Scottie was just no factor. And he, you know what I'm saying, Scottie was a big role in him winning, of course. But what else? What else did he bring to the table, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, he brought floor generalship, yeah, and he ran the offense. But like, when they needed key shots, you don't see Scottie in the highlights, man. You see like Paxson, you see Steve Kerr hitting the shot, you see Jordan hitting the shot. Like, the key steals and all that. You see Jordan, when they won that last championship, who made the steal and brought the ball to the court and then hit the game on a shot? That was Jordan. I didn't see Pippen in that. Like, so those clutch moments, we're not even seeing Scottie Pippen in none of that shit to say impacted them so much. They just running with that narrative because it sound good, and that's the narrative they have. Just like Kobe has the narrative of, oh, he's selfish and he got Shaq traded, and I mean, like, nah. And Shaq carried Kobe and all this shit. How the fuck you carry a nigga that averaged 30 while you on the team? A nigga that averaged 33 in the Western Conference. In the Western Conference Finals at that. Against San Antonio. Against the Twin Towers, man, at that. Then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would have been a legitimate argument if Kobe doesn't win 2 championships without Shaq and 3-peat without him. Then it's a legitimate argument. Because that was the argument back then. Well, Kobe, he didn't get a ring yet. And Shaq got his 2 years after he left. So, the narrative was, well, Kobe got to get his. And then, the next year, 2 years later, you see Kobe in the finals. 3 years later, you see Kobe hoist that trophy. And then you see him do it back to back. So he would have 3-peated. And then he had a worse team. That team that they had with Shaq, Fox, Brian Shaw, Harper, Fisher, Glenn Rice, Isaiah Ryder, Horace Grant. Like, you know what I'm saying? They had them all, man. Even the year they lost, when they lost to Detroit, they had Karl Malone, they had Peyton on that team. Like, that more was a super team. But like I said, man, like, he did it with a worse team without Shaq. I ain't saying worse, but like with a lesser team. Like, those guys that he did it with, they weren't even in the league after that run. Most of them gone, man. You never even heard of none of them dudes. Like, I mean, and it's not to disrespect any of them. But what I'm saying is, because they're great, anybody that makes it to the NBA is a great talent. Anybody that plays any professional sport is a great talent. So we're not disrespecting them in that aspect. Better than me and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as athleticism, right? I'm just a fan. I'm just giving an opinion. That's it. That's all it is, man. It's no disrespect to none of those players, man. Or any athlete, without us fans. Let us fans be fans. Let us talk our shit. Let us say, hey, this guy's great, this guy ain't great, or whatever. That's what we are here for. We're not here to just watch the game and go sit down and be a fucking robot. We're here to give our intakes. Now, some people don't make no sense. Those mainly are casuals. But, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, but some of these people take it personal. And they want to, throw shade, whatever, and they disrespect fans. And it's like, all right, we just fans. We just, you know what I'm saying? We have opinions. We watch the game. We just see what's going on. I would never say I'm better than any athletes. I'm just giving a personal opinion on what I see. And I think as a human being, you have a right to do that. It's like if you're watching my life every day on television, you have a right to say, hey, look, man, your life is funny. You know what I'm saying? You could be doing this or that or whatever, or maybe try this, or, this ain't working for you. We see this is playing out. Maybe, because it's something that you're seeing on a daily basis, man. But y'all, some of y'all athletes are sensitive, man. Y'all niggas want to throw personal shots at people and disrespect the fans. Like, talk to the fan like, oh, look, I'm here. Y'all just watching the games. And, like, come on. It's not that serious, man. We fans, man. We just talking our shit. Fans been talking shit, and now we just got more. Everybody has platforms, but they'll be like, oh, the fan don't know no better. He don't know what's going on. He ain't in. You're right. But don't make it seem like niggas just sitting home doing nothing. Like, we just bums. Like, niggas is getting up with 2 jobs, getting up 4 or 5 in the morning every day to go to work. Some niggas got 2 jobs out here. Like, I mean, like, some people, you know what I'm saying, gotta, you know what I'm saying, get up and go to work and on their feet all day. Get off work, you know what I'm saying, got kids to come home to. So it's not the lavish life that some of you guys may have, but that's on the strength of the fans. Because if we're not watching, if we're not commenting on you, we're not buying the merch and buying the tickets and all that shit, y'all not gonna make any money. Like, so, you shouldn't disrespect fans. We just giving a take on what we see. That's it. Sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? But, I want to see that shit back rooms, man. But yeah, man, Kobe disrespect is crazy. Like, and then what Rich Paul said was, wow, man, like, fan. Then he said some other stupid shit. LeBron is like Muhammad Ali, like he's the people's champ. Nobody likes LeBron, fam. Kobe was more the people's champ, if you want to say that, than LeBron. You see, Kobe and Mike, right? They didn't come in the league and anybody thought they were going to be these great players that they were. Now, Kobe, we knew we had talent, and we knew they all had talent and potential, but nobody put the expectations for them to be as great as they were. Mike, was he 3rd overall pick? He wasn't, you know what I'm saying, number 1, like, you know what I'm saying, like, Kobe was number, 12 or 13? I think he was 12. So, yeah, they had to earn these stripes. They earned their stripes, man. Kobe was more the people's champ because they never wanted, he was getting blamed for Shaq leaving, getting blamed for, the turmoil in the locker room with the Lakers. I remember all this shit. Watching the games. Remember, I'm a Laker fan. He was getting the blame for everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan, same thing. Oh, he's selfish. He can't win like this. He's got to pass the ball, all this shit. So he had to learn, the difference with Jordan. Jordan was loved by the people. People loved Mike. They loved the shoes. He had a brand that he created. Like, Mike was on a different level than Kobe. Just period. Just on the court. Just everything was a high level with Mike. Mike earned that. Kobe, he felt like Mike is here, Kobe's here, and he fell short just a little bit, championship-wise, but skill-wise, Kobe's there. But, like, when it came to, like, just overall dominance on the court, Mike had him. Mike had off-the-court shit. Mike was more loved by the people. He revolutionized the game. And Kobe inspired people to, with Mamba mentality and all of this stuff, and his skill set and shit like that, his hard work ethic, it inspired people. Kobe's loved around the world. His brilliance and his knowledge of the game, he brings things to the table, man. But they constantly disrespect him. So at the end of the day, man, Rich Paul is bugging. LeBron had more help than any other superstar that we can mention in our top 5, 10. He had superior help on every team. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta cut it out, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody, he's not no people's champ. He's not, it's not just unplug and plug. Like, everybody knows you can't win by yourself, fam. Cut it out. You need help. It's your leadership and your ability to rise to the occasion is what we're talking about, that separates the greats from the all-time greats, and those all-time greats that sit in certain rooms that others can't. That's what it is, man. Anyway, I'm out, man. Many Face Publishing. Enjoy the rest of this nice day. Peace.